Okay, there he is. Yeah, I couldn't hear you. There's a lot going on. A lot going on here. I mean, a lot going on. Yes, is this thing on? I mean, this is...
Check 1, 2, 3. Now I'm hearing myself twice.
Okay, well, maybe...
Yeah.
Yeah, you need it. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, let's see.
Right.
Let's go.
I think we're good. Okay.
I think we're good, because I hear you in my headphones.
All right, so we don't even need this thing over here.
No, look at
You
you.
can be freed from the mic. All right. You kind of move around a little bit. Yeah, all right. Wow. So, Kennedy and Nzechukwu.
Pretty damn close.
Pretty damn close. I'm taking him at plus 115 over Da Jung. Only throwing half a unit on this one. Don't really love the fights that we have on this card. I feel like it's a really tough card to predict. But both these guys going in, I mean, they're going to throw hands. They're going to come in swinging. It's a great fight to start the night, especially Kennedy. I mean, he's going to throw all the way to late in the fight. Sometimes he does depend on that late to get that knockout if he is coming from behind. But nonetheless, I mean, he's 5-1 in the UFC. His only loss is coming to Paul Craig by late third-round submission in a fight that he probably would have won had he not got submitted and gone to a decision. And then on the other side, Jung, he's a really quality fighter as well, 4-0 in the UFC. Probably the more technically sound striker, and he's probably going to try and get this to the ground at some point. Got 8 takedowns last time out. But Kennedy has pretty good takedown defense. I mean, we saw him against Paul Craig. Stuffed 15 takedowns. He goes 1 of 16 in that fight. Obviously, he does get the submission later in the fight, but, you know, I mentioned that fight earlier also against Danilo Marquez. He stuffs 10 in that one. He's got 80% takedown defense overall. So I think if he can keep this one standing, he always has the potential to get the knockout power. We know he's going to be throwing haymakers when he's in there. He's got that chance to get the winning shot, and I think he's going to be able to do that. So I'm willing to take the dog stab here at plus 115 with him.
By the way, there's some talk online that Daniel Cormier has sabotaged our microphones. Can't confirm it, but this is who I'm texting right now to make sure that he has not infiltrated the system here.
Did you do this to yourself? You got Pat McAfee right over your shoulder. I mean,
oh, you think I brought this upon myself? Whose side are you on, Connor?
Did you send him everything, all the credentials to get into the building, and then he just pocketed that so he could come in today and sabotage everything before the show?
I don't remember doing that. I hope I didn't do that, but it was a lot to handle in the moment because you got Fernand Lopez pulling out the receipt.
Venting. He is going back in the playbook.
He is pulling out receipts. He's talking about like parking receipts, literal receipts. My microphone's not working. Jorge Masvidal's out of the fight. I got Casey O'Neill coming after me on text. I thought she was part of Thug Knows. She didn't like the way I phrased the question to Roxanne. There's a lot going on here, Connor. A lot.
I'm hearing myself twice in my headphones.
I made the mistake of turning over my phone. I've got 25 text messages.
Oh my God! I mean, this is setting up bad juju for this weekend. We might be facing our first back-to-back.
Please continue. We got Yair Rodriguez, whose appearance rate on programs is 50-50 at best coming up. I don't know what's going to happen there. I'm staring at 80 questions for On the Nose.
Oh, my God.
You know, we're going to be here till 7 o'clock.
All right. It's almost dark out right now.
It's probably dark already, for God's sakes.
All right, let's keep this moving so I can get out of here and you can get to the 80 questions before we get.
Don't worry. You're giving me a nice little mental break.
Yeah, you get all caught up on everything that's been going on. All right, next one is up. Miguel Baeza. I'm going to take him at minus 130. This one's on the move a little bit as well over Chaos Williams. Again, I'm just kind of sticking to the half unit on this one. It's another great fight early on in the card. Baeza starts out 3-0 in the UFC. Then he gets into a firefight with Santiago Ponzinibbio. Pretty close pronunciation there.
Yeah, close enough.
Close enough.
Ponzinibbio.
That's what I go for.
Yeah.
I mean, even when I hear him a million times, it's tough to get out. Santiago, though, I think he just comes on strong in the last 2 rounds and he gets the unanimous decision. Baeza, though, man, he's well-rounded. He lands hard strikes with knockout power. We've seen it before. He throws volumes, man. He mixes in the kicks very well. I think he's going to be able to do that here against Chaos Williams. And he can show that he can grapple. He's got a submission victory in the UFC. Now, obviously, when you're going against Chaos Williams, the biggest concern is getting knocked out yourself. I mean, he starts his UFC career with 2 30-second knockout wins. He's going to come forward with flurries. If this is nothing more than a brawl, then Chaos Williams is probably going to put him to sleep and put him onto the Kansas. But I think Baeza, he's going to come in respecting that power with the experience from that Santiago fight, potentially working some grappling. We saw Michael Pereira get Chaos to the ground twice in that last round and probably gave him that decision victory in that one. And I think Baeza might use that same route. I think he's just going to use his advantages in this one, and I think he's going to keep it at range. He's going to use those kicks a lot in this one. He's maybe mixing the clinch, maybe mixing the grappling, and I think he'll be able to avoid the knockout from Chaos Williams, and I think he'll be able to get the win here at a short -130 price.
Big time win. My guy, Jonathan Feliciano, the Buffalo Bills, not to name drop. Is a big fan and friend of Miguel Baeza.
Look at this. We got Bills Nation on our side. How can we lose?
I mean,
Chaos Williams by knockout.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you saw the Bills last week. Bit of an abomination. But in any event.
6 points on the Jags, man.
Horrible. Let's not talk about it. I was utterly embarrassed. Yeah.
We're working through this here. We're on to the last single. I only got 3 single plays this week. I might add in some later this week, but I'll get into that in a second. The final one, Max Holloway. I'm going to take him in round 4, round 5, or by decision at -115 over Yair Rodriguez. I actually am going to put the full unit on this one. I do feel a little bit more confident in this one. I firmly believe Max is going to win this fight, but at the same time, I think Yair's tough. We saw him go 24-59 against Korean Zombie before landing that wild elbow knockout. He's gone 25 minutes with Alex Caceres. Like, he's got a chin and he can strike with the best of them. But I do just think this is a different class. I mean, he's going against a man who's had the belt. He's fought the best in the division numerous times. And he's coming off a fight where he landed 445 significant strikes. So he's clearly still in his prime. He's young. Holloway's been around for so long, but he's still under 30, which is just crazy. And if you go from that round 4, 5, or decision perspective, I obviously can't lay the chalk with him as a single bet. He's upwards of -600 at this point. I just think Yair's tough, man. Plus, Holloway, he's been going to decisions lately. All 5 of his last fights have gone to 25 minutes. And this one just needs to go to 15, and then Max gets the win from there. He doesn't really possess that one-punch, flat-line power. If he's going to finish you, he's going to come on, just continuously wear on you, accumulate those strikes, knock you down, get the ground and pound, or maybe a doctor stoppage or something. So I do think that Yair is going to be able to survive at least 3 rounds of this one. I would not be surprised if Max gets it done inside the distance, but I think it'll either come in rounds 4 or 5, or it does go to a decision where Max is able to get it done by points.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, I'm sure if Yair's watching, he loves to hear that before his.
Yeah. No, I think we're good. I think he's still. I doubt he's showing up in 23 minutes.
Great. So those are the 3 singles. I might mix in one more. I haven't decided to pull the trigger on it yet, but it's Joel Alvarez at +210 over Thiago Moises. As you can see, the 3 right here that I have locked in already. The Joel one, he's just a solid fighter. He's going to have a huge size advantage over Moises. I just couldn't lay the -260 with Moises. And maybe even an Alvarez inside the distance sprinkle. I mean, Moises is going to have to take it to the ground with the size disadvantage, and Alvarez is dangerous on the ground, man. 16 of his 18 wins have come by submission, so he could slip something and, could get it inside the distance. So I might add that on later. Haven't added it yet, so we could do that there.
I can hear the guys in the back. Do they want me to hear them? I'm not sure. It sounds. I think.
You can go back to your other mic.
No. It's the people are saying there's an echo.
It shouldn't be anymore.
All right. Well, I mean, Alex said it. I'm afraid.
We're working on the fly with that.
Well, why don't we just stick with the lobs for the rest of the way? They seem to be working. It's no bother, right?
I like the laws, man. I can move about the cabin here.
Yeah, I mean, you're
I'm
good.
used to this. I'm normally concreted into that one spot. All right, let's keep this rolling.
Yeah.
This is just getting so off the tracks here. This is a ridiculous hour here.
Come on, let's go.
All right, parlays. I'll start with a base parlay. I'm going to do an accumulator, a progressive, whatever you want to call it. Basically, just a parlay with 2 picks, add 2 more picks, take the other parlay, add 2 more picks, take the next parlay.
Okay.
So the base one on this one is going to be Felicia Spencer. That's who I'm going to start with. Took her at -290 over Leah Letson. Letson, she's been out of the octagon for 3 years due to a number of health issues, thyroid issues being one of the main ones. She's also had ACL surgery during her career. There's just a lot of unknowns when it comes to Letson. And the competition she's faced, I mean, 4 of her 5 wins are coming from fighters that are currently under 500. And then when you go on the flip side, Felicia Spencer, I know that she's lost 3 of her last 4, but if you look at the competition she's facing, she gets that close split decision with Norma Dumont. Then she goes the full 25 minutes with Amanda Nunes, KOs Farron in the first round and then goes all 15 with Chris Cyborg. So she's facing the best of the best for her division. And I just think Leah Letson, with all the question marks she has, her experience level is just not the same as Felicia Spencer, and I think she'll be able to get it done. As you can see, moving on with this first one, we'll go Ben Rothwell up next. This one is a much closer fight here at -145 over Marcos Rogerio de Lima.
Nailed it.
Yeah. That one was nice. I can't lie. Big Ben, though, he's going to have a size advantage, 3 inches height, 5 inches reach. He's going to have an experience advantage as well. Rothwell, he started in the UFC back in 2009. He's fought some of the best, man. Cain Velasquez, Andre Arlovsky, Junior Dos Santos, Brendan Schaub, Marcin Tybura. Winning a few of those. No, nothing for the Brendan Schaub thing. All right, we'll keep this train rolling.
No. I got to be. I'm looking at media campaigning for Khamzat.
No, I understand.
I'm like blown away
there's
by
a lot
this.
going on.
I'm blown away by this. Like, what kind of marks are in this business? Like, I'm blown. It's like yesterday there was a clip that I'm sorry I forgot, but like yesterday there was a clip of Dana White on Part of My Take where he talks about a prelim fighter at UFC 268 making $750.
Yeah, and I heard the whole interview.
Yeah, and I'm like, guys, what are you talking about? He's talking about Michael Chandler. Now, okay, I understand you guys don't know about, okay, fine, I know a little bit more. You know the response? Do you know the responses I got? You idiot. He's not a prelim fighter. You idiot. He's a former world champion. Dana said, I was like, wait a second, guys. Are you that big of marks? Since when is everything that comes out of the promoter's mouth, A, the truth? When do I lie? Again, when do I lie? I don't lie. I never lie. Trust me, he meant undercard. You got to speak the speak. You know what I'm talking about? The language. He was talking about an undercard fighter, not in the main event, not fighting for a title. If you think he recognizes the Bellator belt as a world title, you certainly haven't been paying attention for the past 15 years. He's not talking about Alex Pereira, who, by the way, is a 2-division champion in another organization, in another sport called Glory Kickboxing. Not talking about him, you guys are debating. They're debating whether he's talking about Ally Quinta, who has been complaining about his pay for the last 10 years, Bobby Green, Alex Pereira, or Ian Gary. Alex Pereira was supposed to fight on Contender Series for 8-8. Ian Gary is coming from Cage Warriors in his debut at 23. You think he's making $750,000, you marks? Listen to me. I will never steer you wrong. And now I have to see people campaign for Khamzat Chimaev, who at this point is 4-0 in the UFC, to fight Leon Edwards. By the way, if there's one fight that you should compare, if you want to say, you know what, let's make it right, let's go Bilal versus Leon because he got poked in the eye, fine, I get it. You want to rub their shoulders, you want to rub their back, fine, I get it. He was wrong, I get it. That's me being a mensch. But you're going to sit here and campaign for Khamzat Chimaev to fight Leon Edwards? Leon Edwards should get the freaking red carpet to that title shot. The red freaking carpet to that title shot. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just thrown off by all this. I don't know how we got into all of this, but between the microphone, my headphones not working, you sitting there, I mean, it's the receipts.
Just sitting there.
The receipts being pulled out about the parking incident of 2013. I can't take it. The 750. Stop being marks. Listen to me once and for all. I would never. I mean, yeah, sure. I'm still in my feelings a little bit for my former friend, stabbing me in the back and now parading around town, hobnobbing with anyone who will pay attention to him. Yeah, it's a bit disgraceful. It's fine. I'm okay with all of it. But please, for God's sakes, stop being marks, all right? Listen to me. I'll never steer you wrong. I'm the only one who won't steer you wrong in this business. The only freaking one. Please, continue.
Yeah, everything just built.
It all just came out.
Did you listen to that entire interview? Your name got dropped.
Don't even start. Connor, don't. Not now. Not now. Don't, you want... Connor.
Not now. Okay. I don't know if you saw clips.
It's the same old hits. It's rich coming from a guy who had security remove me from the building anytime he was coming on set to use names like this about me. I'm approaching 40 years old. 40 years old. I never thought a grown man in his 50s would resort to insults like that, the kind of insults that I heard, on the playground, not about me, because I was, 180 pounds of steel and sex appeal, if we're being honest. But, some people fall for the gimmick and they like to play it up. If the only thing you could say about me after 15 years in this business is that I'm a P word, that's all you got? That's all you have? If the rent-free leads to just saying that about me, I mean, who's winning? And by the way, shout out to Big Cat for saying some nice things about me. I saw that.
Nice.
There's a hell of a lot more that I could say. I love the way he glosses over the 2016 banning. He's like, oh, he's weak. Like, what is my physique? And by the way, I mean, you talk about physique. This is au naturel right here, all right? This is au naturel. Get a good look, Yoon, right here. Get a good look at the 24-inch pythons. Au natural. That means natural.
Oh.
For those that don't speak French,
Even
okay?
locked up in the button downs all the time.
Yeah, so, I mean, you laugh, you chuckle, everyone sends it your way. It's the same old hits. Let's start, let's start coming up with new material.
Yeah.
It's the same old. Now, if you want to talk about specific things and say he's good at this, he's bad at that, I don't like this, but that's it. That's all it is. He's a B word, he's a this, he's a that. I mean, it's the same old hits. It's tired, it's played out. I've done nothing wrong. And again, to use that kind of language when you're asking security to remove me from the building so I'm not in the line of sight, when you're complaining to the highest of executives about me working for the company when all I'm doing is promoting the sport and talking good about the sport, I mean, you tell me.
Yeah. I was listening to it on the treadmill. It caught me off guard, man.
Yeah, I bet it did.
Yeah.
If it doesn't fit, you must have quit. I don't know how that.
Gosh, this is getting so off track.
What do you think? What do you think of that, Frank? Do you think that quote was analogous to the situation?
It was very analogous to the situation.
I'm just saying, if the moniker doesn't fit, it's sort of like the old school, who smelt it dealt it. You get what I'm saying?
I just prefer the Chewbacca defense.
What is the Chewbacca defense?
It was the take on the whole, if it doesn't fit, you must have quit. And it was just like, that just does not make sense. It's from South Park. You should watch it.
No, I missed that one. In any event, what else we got?
Yeah, wow. We off
this
track.
is your fault. They say I'm the pot stirrer.
Yeah, I shouldn't have brought up Schaub
No, it's
there.
fine.
But, Rothwell, first round
Rothwell,
KO over him. So we're all rooting for Rothwell this weekend. I mean, we even got the laptop hand there. We even got that. Wow. Really, really getting off.
Yeah. Well, listen. Things are getting serious when you get.
That's what I'm saying, man. You don't. If you're a Helwani enemy, that is not something you want to see. You don't want to see the hand.
Au natural. I'm coming out with new shirts. Call up Breaking Tea. Call them up. Victim Helwani. Coming out soon. Victim Helwani. I got a couple ones that I'm working on. Victim Helwani, because I'll wear that. I'll wear that on my hat. I'll wear that on my shirt. I'll wear that on my behind. I mean, I'll run to the bank with that. Another one that I'm coming out with is the outline of the state of Nevada and just rent-free with a big fat nose on it. Come on, guys. What are we doing here? We're all,
what charity is
Victim Helwani? I'm still working on the Thug Nose one. We haven't gotten there yet, but it's always going to go to charity because that's the kind of mensch that I am. But let's be honest, right here and now, we're all getting a little too old for this nonsense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I got nothing.
Okay, please.
I mean, you said it all. Ben Rothwell, man. Main event for the guy. Big deal. I'm taking Rothwell. Jared Olima, he just can't say the same about the experience that he's had. I mean, everyone he's beaten in the UFC is either no longer in the UFC or they're on their way out. I mean, his last fight, Maurice Green, he threw 166 strikes and only 14 of them were significant. I don't exactly know the difference between that, but I mean, he's not really landing heavy on that. And he had over 14 minutes of control time in a 15-minute fight, and that's all he was really able to do in that one. I just haven't been overly impressed with what I've seen from him. He's also typically a finisher. 13 of his 18 wins have come by knockout. Rothwell has not been knocked out since 2009, his first fight in the UFC against Cain Velasquez. So he's got a really good chin. He's really durable. And then on the flip side, all 6 of Marco's losses in the UFC have come by submission. 3 of Rothwell's last 5 have come by sub. He's got 13 sub wins in his career. So Marco's weakness is clearly one of Rothwell's strengths, and I think he may be able to exploit that. So I just think the veteran, he's got advantages that he can use and pick up a win here. And, everyone's saying Rothwell's slowed down a little bit, which may be true. He may be slower. But last fight out, he choked out the now beloved, America's favorite, Chris Barnett.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yeah, short notice for Huggy Bear.
Yeah. But he did look pretty athletic on Saturday.
He did. I mean, he did. He certainly did. Against John Vellante, who probably isn't at the level of Ben Rothwell at this juncture.
Yes.
But, look, the facts are the facts.
Yeah, John Vellante. He looked like a dad in there. He looked good, man.
Wow. Okay. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, I am a dad.
Like he looked like dad strength. He looked like
Yes.
the
You're
way
trying to
he
say
was
he had a
standing.
dad bod. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah,
Very
he
nice
looked like
way?
intimidating. He looked like the dad,
No.
like fighting for his son getting picked on or something. He's standing right straight up with the fists up. He looked good.
Okay.
All right, that first one pays plus 127. We're going to throw a unit on that, and then we're going to do the accumulator. We're going to add these. I'll run through them real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Next one, Sean Woodson. We got this one at minus 280 over Colin Anglin. This line's growing as well. The sniper, he's going to have a massive size advantage. He's massive for the division. 5-inch height, 8-inch reach advantage here. If this one stays standing, he's likely going to be able to just outstrike Colin Anglin, go to a decision winner, maybe catch him with a knee when Anglin's trying to come in for something. On the flip side, obviously, the concern is that Anglin is probably the best wrestler that Woodson has faced to date. And you're going to have to get Woodson to the ground if you want to beat him just because he's so huge. And he's been taken down in every single one of his fights, and he's probably going to get taken down in this one in the every single one of his fights in the UFC. Probably continue here. But he also does stuff a good amount of takedowns. He stuffed 15 against the law, stuffed 14 against Kyle Bochniak. He's got 81% takedown defense. And I think he'll be able to keep this on the feet enough. He'll probably get taken down at some point, but I do think he'll be able to keep it on the feet enough. And I think he'll be able to outstrike him to a decision win. Second leg of that one of the accumulator. If we can get the graphic up here just for reference, since I know you know.
Yeah, I like the graphic.
We just the last one here, Ian. Yep. Nah, the one before it. There we go. Yep. We are moving right along here. Yeah, since we went on that long dialogue.
Yes.
The next one I add is Max Holloway. I'm just taking him to win. As Alex Volkanovski said to you the other week, there's levels to this. I think Holloway is just on a different level than Yair Rodriguez, and he'll be able to get the win. That one is obviously just a win. The last two I'm going to add, I'm going to take Andrea Lee and Cynthia Calvillo over 1.5, and Song Yadong and Julio Arce over 1.5 as well. I think it's just my confidence shaking at this point. The fight goes the distance. Those props, I guess they just scared me last week, so I'm just going with the over 1.5 to get my confidence back here. I mean, all four of these fighters, they're really tough to finish. They don't get finished often. So I think they're going to be durable enough. I think both those fights actually go the distance, but I'll play it safe here, and I'll go with the over 1.5.
All right.
And then, we got Bellator 271.
Yeah. Bellator Burks.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Bellator Burks is back and better than ever. I mean, we got some great lines.
Supposedly.
We'll see.
We'll be the judge of that.
When a minus 1,100 favorite gets knocked out in the first round, we'll know. These are the favorites that I like. I think all their matchups set up really well for them. Doing the same thing with the accumulator. I got all these lines, but they have blown up. Mamad's up to minus 1,000 now. I'm seeing Jordan Newman at 800, Roman at minus 900. We're getting deep in 9-legger. Who knows if that one's going to win, but that's what I like for Bellator. I think this card sets up really well for the favorites, and then for everyone that comes chirping at me talking about, all you do is take the giant favorites in the Bellator cards. That's because favorites tend to win a lot in Bellator. Last year, 7 of the 18 main cards in 2020, every single favorite won.
Whoa.
On the main card. Yeah.
Look at those stats.
Those are some stats for you. I mean,
wow.
But Bellator sets their fighters up for showcases. Really the only one that I think I'm missing 2 favorites on this. I think it's going to be 11 fights. I'm missing Valerie Lareda is one of them. I'm kind of wary of her just because I think she was like minus 650 last time out, and she lost. But if you really want to add her, she's probably set up to win. I think she's fighting someone that's 4-7. So those are the Bellator picks that I like. Those are the UFC picks that I like. We took a long and winding road to get to this point, so obviously I'll be posting them on Twitter and Instagram as well. And I may add a couple as the week goes on.
All right. So
7 minutes. Are we going to have Yair Rodriguez?
Oh, yeah. I've already gotten confirmation.
Let's go.
Confirmation from Mr. El Pantera himself. But yes, there is a lot of MMA. I mean, still waiting for your one championship picks. Perhaps we'll get that.
I was eyeing some LFA lines this week.
Wow.
Thinking about busting into it.
Wow.
Nothing I liked enough yet.
Bellator 271, Sinead Kavanaugh, a huge underdog going up against Chris Cyborg. Terrell Fortune against Linton Vassell.
I mean, I'm seeing Cyborg as big as minus 4,000 at draft.
What?
like we're talking about
damn, dog.
Like a Tyson level upset if she were to get beat.
Steve Mowry, 9-0, big-time prospect against Rakeem Cleveland. Arlene Blankow against Pam Sorensen. Justin Gonzalez versus Aaron Pico. Nice little main card there for Bellator at the Seminole Hard Rock.
The good news is, if you're tuning in, Vegas has most of these fights as heavy favorites to not go the distance, so chances are you're probably going to see quite a few finishes in these fights, so it should at least be entertaining. even if it's the favorites are winning. And I'm sure we'll get an upset. I'm sure someone's gonna ruin the day for old Bellator Burks in this one.
Yes, and that's on Friday.
Friday.
On Saturday, it's the 1 p.m. Prelim start with some good names on the prelims, and then the main card start is 4 p.m. And then after the ESPN Plus event, the UFC event, it's what? AEW Full Gear, November 13th, Saturday, November 13th. Big wrestling guy?
Nah.
No, not at all? Can't be bothered? There are some books that take action on wrestling.
I couldn't bet on that. Someone has determined the outcome, have they not?
Yes. I don't know how they get away with it.
It's like betting like on like a TV show. Like when Game of Thrones was big, you could bet on like who was going to be the next character to die. I can't do that.
But how do they get away with that? Because someone might know.
Yeah, right? Like the director tells a friend that tells a friend that puts 100,000 that Jon Snow is going to die next. Like how?
I mean, that's crazy.
AEW, yeah. I was racking my brain. I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't know. I mean, I screwed it up. I said Sunday, November 13th. It's still killing me. In any event,
we still got Yair Rodriguez. We still got questions to get to.
We still got questions.
I will leave you be. This has been
it's been a fun day.
It's been a fun day. Yeah,
it's been a fun day. I see some people saying, how could you campaign for Kamaru Usman to fight Leon Edwards in December? I'm not campaigning for that fight to happen in December. Obviously, that fight card has already 2 title shots. 2 title fights. I was thrown off by the microphone over there. I hear.
I know. I'm thinking I dip off the screen now and take.
Yeah, that would be good. I'm done with this man. I'm done with this guy.